Hello YouTube, it is Champion DJK coming at you again with another video, and I've got just a boatload of mainline Hot Wheels to crack open. So we're just going to get after it and get it done and try to go somewhat quickly. We're going to start with the Pagani Zonda R. I believe this is a Kroger exclusive color here in green. It looks very, very nice. L case of this year, 2024. She's a beaut. I like that one quite a bit. So we're gonna have a mix here of some models that have been out before and some new models and all sorts of good stuff. This is definitely a winner. I love this color on this car. I think it looks quite fantastic. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, of course, below. But that's a killer one. That's actually a contender probably for car out of the pack here for me. All right, next is the Dodge van in some sort of Hot Wheels racing deco. And this one looks okay. I guess we'll just leave it at that. It's okay. The casting is kind of cool itself. I do like the casting, but it's very small for an actual Dodge van. In fact, like shorter than a Pagani, yada, yada, yada. It's very much smaller than 1/64 scale. Generally, that doesn't bug me all that much, but it's very, very tiny. Still a cool van, though. It looks pretty good with this livery and those wheels. So we'll put that there. Next is this Project Moo. So this thing is Mazda RX-7 and from Japan imports. It is like a blue on blue Q case, it looks like. Not terrible. I like this RX-7 casting. This particular graphic on it, it doesn't really do much for me. But there it is. Nice casting, though. Definitely a nice casting. All right. Let's see what we got. We'll grab one from back here. This is the 64 Chevy Chevelle SS in banana flavoring. Looks okay. Honestly, not sure why I picked it up. Got blown motor. I don't know. Looks all right. The casting is older. 2011 is the copyright date on the tooling. So that gives you an idea of when they may have first put it out. 2012 probably. That looks all right. I don't know. The Ford GT Race. This one looks okay. Oh, I gotta drink something. Looks all right in green. Not a bad casting. Not the greatest looking of liveries for it, but not terribly bad either. This casting's been around now for a bit. 2016. And they did a nice job with it, actually. This couldn't have been a super easy casting to do. It must have been kind of complex to design because of all the kind of intricacies of that car. Let's go with a new model. This is a new model for 2024. This is the Gordon Murray Automotive T.50 S. This thing is one mean-looking machine here. We can read about it in here. Born 2023 in England. It's a track version of the iconic Gordon Murray Automotive T.50 Supercar. So pretty neat. This looks pretty awesome in this like black and dark orange color. Quite cool. It really kind of looks like a fantasy casting, right? Like just some wild design there. Looks kind of crazy. Yeah, that's kind of cool looking though. I wonder what proportionally this looks like if it was actually 1/64 scale. I'm not familiar with the real car, so I can't tell you much about it. Is it like a turbine thing in the back? But it's kind of neat. It looks good. The color scheme looks good. They have plastic up here, which is smooth for the windows and kind of see-through, and then it's like textured up there. So that's kind of a neat touch as well. Cool looking mainline. We'll set it over by the Pagani. All right, next is the 91 GMC Cyclone. Loving this one in this livery. I think this looks awesome. This is like old school, like Dixie Cup livery. So very 80s, or early 90s, 80s, late 80s. It looks awesome. No detail up front, of course, because it's a mainline car. We do get details in the back on the Cyclone, and of course that awesome graphic on the side. I actually really like this one. I think that's pretty darn cool. So we'll go ahead and set that right there. All right, another new model. This is the Aston Martin DB4 GT High-Speed Edition. So this is like a fantasy casting that's licensed, which is kind of an interesting thing. From what I gather it is, because this is not a real car. And yeah, this is like, hey, what would this look like if Aston Martin made a like salt flat racer? Is that what it's supposed to be? And man, it does look really cool. So I really like this, actually. I think this is a neat new model. I think it looks really awesome. I like what they did with it. It's got like the tires are white to make it look like it's been racing on a salt flat. You know, they get all white and dusty. I think this is neat. I think this is a really cool new model. Next, we got the Bugatti. I know it's probably not pronounced right. So we've gotten this. This is like, is this like a third color of this one? I thought we had it in like a blue, a yellow, and now maybe a red. Wild looking car. Like this and the Gordon Murray kind of look like a fine little pair with each other. But wild car. It looks very Batmobile-esque. And I think that debuted, what, last year? I think. Maybe not, maybe. This one's a really nice one. A nice clean McLaren F1 in red with these lace wheels. And I think it looks really good in just this plain old red. So this is from Q case of this year. Might have been in P case as well, I'm not sure. You get graphics up front, and you get them in the back as well. Pretty nice. Nice, basic, clean version of this car. This is a really nice one. I like it a lot. So that is awesome. And then we've got the Alfa Romeo GTV 3.0. This time in a kind of a metal flake blue. This was a casting that debuted last year. And it looks quite nice in this blue with those wheels. I think it does look pretty good. You get details up front. You get nothing in the back. And then, of course, this like orange and black striping on the side, which complements the metal flake blue pretty well. I think it looks okay. Pretty decent. Not a bad little model. Kind of digging it. It does sort of qualify. Usually when we do these videos, I kind of qualify things as to whether I would keep it or not based on if I had to like slim stuff down. And anything that's like, you know, clean version of the car, I definitely would keep. This is not exact with that stripe on it, but I think it still qualifies. This would qualify. This, I like it too much. This has a number on it, so it's a race car. And I mean, I collect vans. This would probably go so far, what we're looking at. This might go too, because I don't really like it all that much. The rest of the stuff, this is a race car, technically, right? I guess not technically, but we're considering it one. So yeah, that's kind of the rule. 2024 GMC Hummer EV. This is a Barbie licensed. Hummer EV. This would probably go. I don't think I would keep it if I had to slim down the collection, which I don't have to do right now. So you get details in the back, details in the front, and details on the side. So you get like some bonus tampo action with this one. I didn't watch the Barbie movie. I don't know if this is like accurate to the film. No idea, but that would probably, honestly, I'd let that one go if we were making those decisions today. This is a 2017 Ford GT to complement the GT race, which is that one. They kind of put these two castings out pretty close to each other. I prefer the race version of the casting. This one looks okay, but I do like the race version better. Pretty basic graphic on this one. Red stripe down the middle with the Hot Wheels logo. It's essentially almost like a stock color and car, so this would probably be a keeper. Plus, I just like the Ford GT, so I'd be kind of partial to it in that way, in that regard. McLaren P1 in purple. I think this one is also a Kroger color in this purple, and this would definitely be a keeper because it's basically a clean model. You just get it in the purple color with headlights and tail lights. Decent looking casting, cool looking car, very swoopy, and overall looks pretty awesome. This one would definitely be on the keeper list. All right. Mercury Cougar Eliminator. This casting, I think, has been around for a while. Let's take a look at the base. 2008. So it's an oldie. Not really an oldie, but old enough. This front came out of J case, is what it looks like. And it looks okay. Since it's not just straight up a clean version of the car, if we're being picky about it, this one would probably go bye-bye. I do think the casting looks pretty good, though. I like the stance on it. I think it looks pretty good. It's a little lowered. The only thing that really looks weird about the casting is that right there. You got kind of like detail in the back for how that little spoiler would be, but from the front, it's just like looks like a curb. So, I don't know. Not the greatest. Last one on the top section of this front row here is another Mazda. So this one is the Kroger exclusive from this year. There is that one. Not much different than the blue one that we looked at. And, in all honesty, this would probably go. I do like this casting, but still. That graphic on the side, I'm not into it. All right. Every once in a while, I buy fantasy models when they look kind of cool. This is the small block, and I just thought this kind of looked neat. The Hot Wheels design team does make some cool, like, basic cars sometimes, and this is supposed to be like a Pinewood Derby car, I believe. It's supposed to, and the cool thing about it, and I'm just realizing, so it's plastic body, and it's got the wood grain texture, and then it's got a metal base. So I bet you this thing cooks down a track in downhill racing. I bet you they made it that way on purpose. So, yeah, it says, with a timeless appeal of vintage wood toys to deliver small block. So this is definitely supposed to be like a Pinewood Derby racer. And that's a fond memory of childhood. You know, if you're ever in Cub Scouts, you did the Pinewood Derby races, and I was, fortunate enough to do that when I was a kid, and I thought that was super cool to do. Make a little race car, Pinewood Derby car, and I mean, this thing, of course, rolls smooth. It's a Hot Wheels, but I'm thinking this thing's going to cook downhill racing. Anything stock out of the package, I bet you this thing would do pretty good. So, where's Ghost Jerker when you need him? Does he still do that? Does the car racing tournament? That would be interesting to see. I got another fantasy one while we're at it. Might as well. The Sushi Tuner. Why did I pick this thing up? I don't know, because I like sushi. So I thought I would just get this one because I thought it looked interesting. Pasta wasabi because this sushi is running hot, fueled by soy sauce. This tuner is about to jump from the dinner table to the track, win the race using its raw power and raw fish and fresh speed. Well, hopefully it would be fresh if it's raw. I don't know. It's goofy, right? But it's a sushi tuner. I bet you this thing cooks down the track too. It's got a metal base, and it's just a goofy thing. That's why I decided to snag it up. Yeah. Okay. Another new model for 2024. This is the Ford Performance Supervan 4. This is a recolor. We've already seen it in the white. This one, I think, looks a lot better, though, than that first color. Even though the first color is more like the classic Supervan kind of color, this one in the blue, I just think it looks really good. Oh, we got it. What is that? What's that on the wheel? Oh, it's just a paint chip from probably the bottom rivet somewhere that fell off in the package. But yeah, this looks really nice. The metal flake blue with these tampos on here that are very, very like high res in comparison to like premium model. I don't know. I just think this looks really good. So look at the details on the back. So you got all that detail on the back, and you got the details on the sides. The only thing you're missing is the front. But this looks awesome. So I really like this one, and it just comes across a lot cooler looking than the initial release of this. This is a recolor, and it looks much better, I think. So we'll set that one over there. I would definitely keep that one anyway. It's really cool, even though it's not a clean vehicle. It kind of is, though. All right. Porsche Carrera 1996 flavor Magnus Walker. Hot Wheels the 90s. This thing would probably go. It's got the Magnus Walker, I guess, sort of look to it. I don't know if this is a replica of an actual car that he's done. I have no clue. If he's got a car that's this and got this graphic, I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Someone will let me know. It looks kind of cool. It's a Porsche. I mean, I collect Porsche diecast in general. I think that's a popular brand to collect. There's a lot of Porsche fans out there, so for that reason alone, I'd probably end up, wouldn't ditch it before ditching some of these other ones. But yeah, the graphics on the side look pretty decent. I don't know. What do you guys think? Blue rims are kind of neat too. All right, next is the Ford Mustang Dark Horse. This is a brand new model for 2024, and just came out in the P and Q case. Q case for sure. I don't know about P. This is the Dark Horse Mustang. We get another Mustang casting. It does look pretty good. It's got a matte blue finish to it, which is kind of interesting. It almost looks anodized. That's the correct term, is what it looks like. And 500 horsepower engine in this bad boy, according to the back of the card, where I get all my car knowledge from, back of Hot Wheels cards. It's not really a joke, actually. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty decent. It's Dark Horse. So this is a clean version of this car. It would definitely be a keeper. So I'm digging that. Let's grab one from over here. We've got the Toyota Supra in sparkly green. Decent, clean version of the model. You really only got a couple things here on the side. That is totally okay. We get details on the front. Nothing on the back. Just those little details on the side. I wish it would have just got back, front. Forget that. Don't need it. But it looks okay, though. Decent Supra. Color's nice. Kind of a dark green. Oh, I didn't even realize there's black in that, too. That's actually kind of hard to see through the packaging. There's like a tribal black thing going in on the side. That's kind of weird. Kind of cool, though. I don't know. I like it. I think it's a good version of that. I'm digging it. I think it looks aesthetically pleasing. Next is the custom 72 Chevy LV. Chevy Love light utility vehicle. This, I believe, is also a Kroger exclusive. So I think I've got all 4 here. And it looks decent. I don't know. Casting's okay, I guess. This one really doesn't fit the bill for me, though. And I would probably end up getting rid of it. But not today. All right. Here's the other Zonda R. This is the standard issue in yellow. And it looks awesome. They did a great job with this casting, no doubt about it. Really good job with it. So I like it. I think it looks great. It looks great in yellow. I think it looks really good, though, in that green. But the yellow is pretty striking as well. So, digging it. Bugatti Chiron, 2016 quarter mile hero, and this was M case. Chiron's been around for a little bit now. Time is a flying. Copyright date is 2018. And I don't know, it looks all right. Kind of a clean version of the car. You get just front detail on it. Oh, and just a little bit of side detail. There's a black trim right here along the swoop. Big casting line in this right here. See that? Bugatti in the front. It looks okay. That's cool, though. I guess it's a clean version of the car, so it would definitely fit the bill as a keeper. Next is Lamborghini Scion FKP37. I think this one's actually from like last year. I don't know. I found it laying around in my room. I probably already have this loose somewhere. So let's just open it up. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go digging around to find out. So I'm like, do I have this one already? Probably do. Yeah, they did an okay job on this casting. It's probably a difficult one to do. That front looks kind of awful. The way those headlights are. Overall, I don't know. There's much better versions of this car out there that you can get for not that much more expensive than a regular mainline Hot Wheel. I'm serious about that. Poster Cars made one for real cheap. So there's options. All right. Dodge Viper SRT10 ACR in silver with a Hot Wheels kind of racing theme going on. Got a number on it, so race car, and this has been around for a while, I think. What's the copyright date? I don't see one on there. Just trying to get an idea when the casting was made. Pretty sure this casting's been around for a while. And this particular version of it looks pretty good. Not a bad. Start sitting back there. Dodge D100 in a cool color scheme. Kind of like a pastel colors. This came from J-Case. It's got a number on the side of it, so race truck. I don't know. It looks good. It looks pretty good. I like the color combo of it on this truck. I like how they kind of give it a stance, too, that makes it look like it's taken off. Like they're pedals to the metal, so it's kind of lurching forward. But, I don't know, it's pretty neat. I don't mind it. All right, next is a Tesla Roadster M case. This is orange, as if you couldn't tell the color. Tesla Roadster. Headlights, part of the window. Dig that always. details on the back. I guess little details on the front, and this would be considered kind of a clean version of this car, so it would be a keeper. Yeah, it's not bad. Orange. Definitely reminds me of a Lotus. They look like Lotuses. BMW M3 Wagon. This is a new for 2024 model, and this is the second color that we got in. The first one was in blue. And then here is this one in red. Pretty good looking. The blue one looks better, though. I don't have it right here next to me, so I can't show it to you. Blue one looks better. This one looks okay. And it's got a number on the side of it, so it's a race car, and I would keep it. BMW 507. This was a new for 2023 model, so it looks like we're late to the game on this one. Probably came out late 2023 in this particular color. And it's red, and it's a clean version of the car, so this would definitely be a keeper. And I think overall, in general, it's a pretty nice little casting. Real basic. Details on the side, little BMW logo and a little hood, trim, and that's all you get for that little mainline car. I think it's nice. It's not bad. The next one is I think this is a treasure hunt. And this is the 59 Chevy Impala. Kind of a cool looking basic treasure hunt. So there you go. Congratulations. This symbol means you just found a collectible treasure hunt vehicle. Woohoo! Basic treasure hunts. All right. It's cool, though. It is looking cool. Skulls all over the place. All in all, if we go by my normal kind of like what my rules would be for keeping stuff or getting rid of it, this would probably be on the chopping block. But it doesn't look bad. It looks kind of neat. So I think it's a cool concept. I think it looks pretty cool. So I don't know. We'll set it over there and stop thinking about it. All right, the McLaren P1 again. This is the one in red, which is the non-exclusive color. And it looks quite good in red. Again, a nice clean version. I don't think they've ever put up this car in not a clean version. There have been several colors of it, and I want to say they've always been solid color. With just the headlight detail and the taillight detail. And I don't think there's ever been, I'll have to look. There's not much room to play around with graphically on this thing. Which means it kind of lends itself to just staying basic. And I like that, of course. So, digging this one. It looks nice. The purple one might be slightly cooler. But you be the judge. All right. Dodge Viper RT10. What a fantastic casting. So they redid this one, I think it was last year. And here it is in yellow with these very good looking wheels for this car. And this is just fantastic. Nice clean version of the Dodge Viper. It looks really good. No complaints. If they could put taillight tampers on it, it would be perfection. But it is not able to do that because it is a mainline car and you got the Viper on the side and the headlights. But this is one of my favorite ones that we've pulled out so far. Right now, I think for me, it's like between that one and this green Pagani I really, really like. But now I'm leaning towards the Viper being my favorite. We're just going to leave it right there. All right, I think we got their last like regular one before we get into all new models. So let's make some room to... I think the last of what I've got waiting back there are all new for 2024 models. See, look at all the little paint that comes out when you open up a bunch of Hot Wheels. That comes off of the bottom rivet. All right, Lamborghini Huracan LP 620-2 Super Trofeo. This is, or would be, if it was Spectra Flame paint and rubber tires, this would be a super treasure hunt. And it's a super treasure hunt I definitely want to try to get. at some point because Lamborghini. It's a nice looking mainline as it is. It looks actually quite fantastic. I like it. Don't mind that it's got two different rims, different wheels. I just think this thing looks really cool. So I am digging that. I want the Super. Somebody find me the Super. This would be one I would just love to find on the pegs. I never find anything like it on the pegs, though, because competition's stiff in my area, and I'm sure as well as yours. All right, 73 Honda Civic Custom end case. Wait, this one's not a new model. We do have a couple that aren't a new model yet. This one's got the same wheels as the Viper. Nice little Honda. Looks pretty awesome. Cool color for it, too. It's got a number on the side, so, you know, it's a race car. And I would keep it. Cool looking little car. All right. Now we're at New Model City here. This is the Tesla Model S Plaid. Boring looking car. I'm sure it's fun to drive, but it is boring looking as can be. It just looks like a standard old sedan. So not really much to say about it. It's the Plaid edition. I'm not sure that translates to a Hot Wheel, but maybe it's faster down the track. I don't know. I know these things are ludicrous speed in real life. Man, this car, I'm telling you, rolls really well. It's like rolling away on a flat table. So, anyway, looks okay. Looks decent in that color. Not a contender for Model of the Year, though. Honda S800 Racing. This one's pretty nifty. It's a car I don't think a lot of people, you know, were counting on Hot Wheels to make, maybe. But it is pretty neat. And it's a race car. So I keep it. It's got, oh, there goes, that came right off good. No detail up front, and it really could use it. Nothing on the back either. I don't know. It's okay. That's all I got to say about it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of not cool. I don't know. This is cool. This is the 67 Lotus Type 49, and it is a recolor, even though we already basically got it like this. The one that we had before had white for the dude, and, well, the plastic piece was all white, I think. So those exhaust bits, those were all white under there, and of course this whole plastic bit was white. So I think it does look better in this configuration with the dark gray. So I do think that is an improvement. Not much of a recolor, but it is an improvement. And this casting is fantastic. Contender for Hot Wheels Mainline of the Year for me. When you're just looking at new castings, this is a contender. I really do like this car. I think it's pretty awesome. I'd love to see Mini GT come out with one of these. I think that would be really cool. I got really excited for Mini GT because they came out with some vintage F1 cars, but they only came out with 2 of them, and they didn't, 2 castings that they've used. They haven't done much after that, so I'm hoping they come back to that. Start doing it again. Here's a wild one, the VW T3 Custom. So this is definitely interesting. It's new for 2024. This is done kind of along the same veins, I guess, as along the same vein as this. You know, it's a fantasy casting, but it's licensed, if that makes sense. So it's a menacing track monster. So they basically turned a VW bus into a menacing track monster. And they took 3 air intake things from a Lamborghini Countach and threw them on the side. Look at that. No room for activities back there. That is all aero. Wild looking. Pretty cool though. Pretty neat little concept. I'm sure VW van fans And VW fans will be all over that one. Definitely an interesting model. It doesn't really excite me all that much, but it is pretty cool. All right, this one is definitely cool and up my alley. The Porsche 911 Rally. So I rhymed there. New for 2024. Packaging no more. This looks pretty awesome. This is definitely a contender for Mainline of the Year as well. Brand new casting, Rough Roads, Porsche. Pretty nifty. My only argument with this is it's tough to find one of these that has perfect tampos. You always got that big gap in the door there that looks a little bit sloppy. And I noticed that a lot of them have issues like that. But overall, it is a very cool casting and a really cool car. So I am definitely digging that one. That is a cool one. Not as cool as this Viper, though. Still thinking that's my favorite. And I don't think that's going to change as we go on here. All right. 87 Audi Quattro, new for 2024. And looking pretty good. Nice clean version of the car. Headlights, front detail. Nothing in the back. And then you got the Audi circles on the side that fade out, which is neat, and a Hot Wheels logo. What was the initial version of this? Was it red? This is a recolor. I think the initial version was red. That would make sense anyway. I'm pretty sure it is. Could be wrong. Probably not wrong. Cool model. Cool model indeed. I don't know whether I'd like it better in red or black. I'm not really sure. Looks good in black, though. Here's another new for 2024 model. And this has a special feature. It is a keychain. And you know, guilty as charged. Anytime I see these on the pegs, I buy them. And I kind of keep them carded or whatever. And I think I will continually swap out my keychain with a new one as they get like crusty and old. Why not? Ooh. It's just cool. I dig it. I mean, if you own a Porsche in real life, I think you definitely need one of these on your keychain. It'll be interesting to see how many more of this type of thing they do. You know, they've done 2 different castings now that they've done this with. This would be the first licensed one, would be the Porsche. And I have one on my keys now. I have got like the Zamac one on my keys. It'd be cool to get a painted one on there, though, too. And they get chipped up. Sure, they're in your pocket and stuff, but kind of neat. I like this. I like this concept. I think it's cool. All right, Porsche 904 Carrera GTS. Second color of this one out in 2024. The initial color was a silver, which I think looked cooler, more retro than this one does in red. But this red one doesn't look bad either. Looking very vintage racing. And not bad. Not bad. The silver one initially, I think, looked better, though, in my opinion. All right, and then lastly and finally, we've got the Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato. And this is an off-road Lamborghini Huracan. What a cool, mean car. Cool looking. It looks like a toy, right? A real-life toy. Just cool. Would this be fun to drive? Yes. I'm sure it would. But very, very cool new model. Maybe not a contender for model of the year. There's been so many good ones, actually. Like, looking back at the year, there's been a lot of great new models that have hit the Hot Wheels line. Some cool, like, obscure stuff, too. You know, it was kind of interesting to see him do one of these. You know, that kind of came out of left field, right? They were going to do one of these. That was really cool. You know, they did this weird Gordon Murray. And then doing these kind of mashup castings kind of makes things interesting. Licensed models where they go ahead and make kind of a fantasy casting of an existing car brand. And I think that that's kind of a neat concept. So going forward, I think we're going to see more of that, and I'm all for it. I think that's a pretty neat thing to do. All right, well, you guys let me know what you think about the comments, or about the comments. Well, let me know what you think about those two, I guess. Let me know what you think about these cars. What was your favorite one? I'm still sticking with that guy as being my favorite. I think it's hard to beat. It's really kind of perfect, close to it. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comments below, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a great day. We'll see you in the next episode.